Hey everyone, welcome to Moving Matt. We do all things cameras with a dash of vlogs and a little bit of travel. And finally, the Sony ZV-E10 is here, and it's a little confusing. So let's get into this thing. First, I am going to go over the specs, and then I'm going to give my thoughts based upon some of the reviews that I've seen and just the initial impressions that I personally get from the camera. So the first spec to note is this 24.2 megapixel APS-C sensor. This is not a new sensor. It's been on the A6100, I believe, and I know it's been the A6400 and the A6600, which kind of makes sense considering this is a very budget-friendly camera. It only comes in at $699 or $799 with the kit lens, so it definitely has a thumbs up in the price department. It will do 4K 30 or full HD 1080 up to 120, so you can get some nice slow motion out of this camera. This has the 3-inch flip LCD screen, but it has the old menus.
You sick sons of bitches.
This has the capability of shooting up to 11 frames per second of stills, but does not have an EVF, so it's not really marketed towards photographers, because I believe you would want an EVF if you're going to be a photographer. It has Sony's autofocusing system, so you can expect it to be great. It'll track your eye, and it also has a product feature autofocus, the same thing that was in the Sony ZV-1. This also has background defocus, which basically means you can press a button and your background will be out of focus, so defocus, kind of self-explanatory there. But the way that they do this is basically they lower the aperture, which is what you would do in a normal situation to blur your background. But in order to do that, they crank up your shutter speed, so it will give a weird feeling. It'll have like a stop motion effect if you crank up your shutter speed too much to compensate for the light. But it's a great aspect, and it's a great thing to have for beginners, just to say, hey, I want a blurry background. You'll be able to press the button and have a blurry background. This has the same microphone setup as the ZV-1 and has that little windscreen that can go on top of it. It's not going to be the best quality microphone in the world, but it's going to be pretty good for an on-the-camera solution. This also has the new Sony Hot Shoe, which is excellent because you can put on their Sony shotgun mic, which is really small, light, and compact, and also very high quality. So if you are a vlogger and want to set up your audio game, that will be a great addition for you. But that is an expensive shotgun mic, and this is a budget-friendly camera. So you also have the microphone port as well on the camera, so you can buy whatever kind of mic that you want. So now that I went over the specs of this camera, what are my thoughts on it? Well, before I give you my thoughts on the camera, be sure to give this video a like and consider subscribing. I actually see 1,000 off in the distance, and I'm like, yes, I can almost get there. So if you can help me get there, I much appreciate it. So what do I think about this camera? Well, I'm a little confused, and I said that before, but the reason I'm confused is because the demographic they're going after with this camera is going to be the vlogger. And one of the things that I'm seeing about this camera that I personally do not like is the rolling shutter and also the IBIS. And those are two very important things that I would see for vloggers, is that you would need good IBIS and good rolling shutter. Because if you're going to be holding the camera and whipping it around a lot to show your environment, which a lot of times you do if you're vlogging, you do not want to see the environment go give that jelloing effect. And also, if you're walking briskly and talking to the camera, kind of like you do when you're vlogging, you also do not want to see the up and down jittering patterns that you get with terrible IBIS. Now, this does have active stabilization, so it's like an active digital zoom. It'll go in though like 45% is what I heard, which is kind of absolutely insane. It will actually limit the amount of lenses that you can actually use for this camera if you're going to be vlogging with it, which is kind of the purpose of this camera. To me, in most vlogging scenarios, and if you're a beginner vlogger like this is aiming towards, the ZV-1 makes more sense to me. It's a much faster sensor. It doesn't seem to have that crazy wobbling going around the edges. It's also a smaller and lighter camera that you can take with you over the ZV-E10. So with all that being said, who do I think the ZV-E10 is for? Personally, I see this being beneficial for two types of people. First, if you're a vlogger and you're just getting into everything, but you're wanting to learn more about the fundamentals of cameras and wanting to learn the different lens setups. Also, you can get a little bit more variety out of your camera, being that You could maybe get more of a blurred background depending on the lens. And you could take the lenses you buy and put it on a future APS-C camera from Sony if they come out with more APS-C cameras, or even a full frame camera from Sony and just crop in. Another beneficial thing you'll have with this camera is being able to learn some of the color grading techniques, because you'll have all the different log profiles. Now it's only 8 bits, so you can't move it around too much, but it'll help people learn how to color grade if that's something that they're into. But again, I think if you're a vlogger and a beginner, you're not going to really be color grading much anyways. But I think this is like a starter camera to bring you up to the next level, and you want to use it like that. This makes a lot of sense. The second person that I think this is for a B cam in a studio. For example, I have the Sony a7S III right here right now, and it would make sense for me to have another B camera, either for a product demonstration or to be able to, you know, turn and have some interesting effect going on with having a secondary camera. It makes sense for people that are in a studio, because I have S-Log going on this camera right now, and I could actually match it fairly well with having an S-Log camera in the studio. I also think it could make a great overhead camera, especially with the autofocusing, being able to have that product feature autofocus. I think that would be great. And really, it could just be great for in the studio work. But what this is aiming for as to be a great vlogging camera, I just don't 100% agree with that. I think the ZV-E10 makes more sense for vloggers than this camera does. But those are just my thoughts on this camera. But what do you think about this camera? Does it interest you? Do you see this being beneficial for more than what I think it's beneficial for? Drop in the comment section below and let me know. And if you've liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And until next time, peace.